Testing. All right. I have no idea if this is working, but we're probably going to spend the next 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that this is rocking all right. Should be off? Yeah. Perfect. Let's update this. Hopefully this is going through. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, we are live. Let's see if I look fine. Yep, nothing distorted. Latency on, like, I don't know. Okay, sounds all right. There's no echo, at least from what I can tell so far. Okay, so that all works. Can I add a thumbnail to this guy? No. Maybe. No. Visibility. Public. Apply. That's lame. Do I have to go to studio on the computer? It's okay. At least I know things sound good and I'm not stretched out, because I know that there was issues with that in previous ones. So that's the reason I want to check. But today, sorry for the delay. I had to scarf down food. Some of the stuff that I was doing for the review was taking an astronomically long time. So I stayed out in the field longer than I wanted. And then food, because it's Cinco de Mayo, took astronomically long too to get tacos. You know, I was trying to be festive and do that whole thing. But yeah, ended up being like an hour and a half to get food. Feed way low. Is this better? Does this sound better? I'm wondering. Microphone says up. I do have some time to gain it. How does this sound to you? It might take a bit because I'm on latency mode. But let's see. I'm not peaking, so I definitely have time to smack it up a little bit higher if I need to. But Mark, whenever you hear this, because I know I'm on a little bit latency here, let me know. Hopefully it's better over time. I can eat this microphone a little bit more than some of my other microphones. So, you know, let me know. But yeah, so tacos took forever. I scarfed them down. That's why I was a little bit late. It's because I had to shove those down in my face, and then I had to clean my face so that I think I'm good. So today we're looking at the Grell TWS1 or TWS /1. Interesting naming convention by a company that caught my eye. They've done a lot, or Axel Grell has done a lot. Focus. Do that. There we go. Has done a lot in the audio industry and kind of split off and do his own thing. So he's making his own product here. And I thought that was a reason enough to try these things. I'm not going to lie, there's like some mixed reviews on these from when I first read it. I tried not to read too much, but, you know, trying to look up the specifications and set this whole video up, I started learning. It just started being recommended on my Google phone. While I love the recommendation feature, it just listens to me too much. It just remembers too much. So when I'm trying to take like a lot of these things, you'll just see the headlines. I don't even click these articles. I'll just see the headlines, and then it starts swaying me. So like I had to look at a couple of them to get like specifications that I couldn't find. But yeah, it's kind of mixed. So going into this, I was, you know, I had some pre-notions of where I should look at especially, but I tried to be as balanced as possible. I do want to talk about the build first before we actually get into sound samples. The other reason why I need to like talk about this a little bit more is because I have been testing this for like about a week and a half, and there's some things I need to like vent about in terms of like the fit and some things like that. So we'll get into that. On purpose, I did not download the Sound ID app, or I have it for the Pandas, but I have not synced it up to the Grells because I think it's going to be worthwhile to get how this sounds in terms of just out of the box, because I've been listening to this all week and I have some thoughts on that. And then I want to get a live impression of how this sounds after the Sound ID has, you know, modified the sound signature, because apparently that has a decent amount of impact where I think that I can probably do this. So probably for the first like half hour, let's just talk about like the actual like form factor and how this all works. And then we get into like sort of like the sound samples. So if you guys have sound like song suggestions and things like that, let me know. I'll definitely try to, you know, get through some of those songs. But I'm going to do like a first round of like straight stock tuning, and then I'll play around with it with my ears. But I do realize that I have to take these off because, you know, it's an earbud review. Can't have these on. Cool. So the Grells. In terms of the case, it's not that too bad. It's about, let's see, what else do I got here? Nope. The Neutrus are a little bit smaller. And so it's about the same sort of size as the Master and Dynamic MW08 Sports in terms of like the size. However, it's chunkier. So there's a lot more in here in terms of size and weight, especially with the more metal build. I think from what I've been testing, I'm getting around 5.5 hours per charge. And I think there's 4 additional charges in here. So not as powerful. So bigger, but not as powerful as MW08s. But still commendable battery that should get you through a few days of work without you charging it. The one thing I have noticed about the charging is that this doesn't hold the charge extremely well. So it'll probably be okay for a few days. But I did notice that like when I was, you know, going through some other reviews and I had to take a break from looking at the Grells, I had a full charge on it. I let it go for like 2 weeks and then it was completely dead. And I had not taken it out. I had just like kind of like let it sit on my table. But when I look at other headphones like the Master and Dynamics, the Neutrus, or the I probably take this guy out for now. How do I take you out? Browser? Yep. Or the Beats Fit Pro, which are kind of like my rotational set at the moment. None of these can, I mean, all of these can like, you know, hold a charge for a lot longer. So like I can leave them inactive and fully charged for like 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks for the Master and Dynamic. Like I've literally forgot about it for a month and then turned it on. There's still a charge in the earbuds. So those hold charges a lot better. These ones seem to like drain quite quickly, even though they have a charge on them. So that's something I'm testing a little bit more. I'm not sure if it's just, you know, some initial pains of opening, but that is something that was immediately noticed as I'm testing with these. In terms of the actual shape, they're actually quite interesting because they use the stem function. And like it's like a stem plus a touchpad, which I don't think I've seen. So if we look at these, what? Come on, there you go. This lens has a really slow focus, pull focus, but it's smooth. So this is the Grell. So like that touchpad, that circle is basically the touchpad. That touchpad is tap and swipe, which is super nice actually. And then the stem is there for the microphones. Yes, Ryan, the Beats Fit Pro, quite nice. Like actually, like surprising because I've had so many Beats over the past. I've had their over ears, I've had their in ears, I've gifted a bunch of them, and I was never really pleased by it. But that was like the cleanest sounding Beats. Like obviously they're a little bit warm, but they're very, very nice. In terms of these Grells, that stem seems to be pretty good on microphones. So like I did use this in calls all week, and my client thought I sounded pretty decent. Obviously, I didn't use them for full talks, so I do need to get some metrics on how long these will last per charge when I'm using these for phone. But, you know, when I'm just using regular usage for music, it's 5.5 hours. But the shape and design is interesting because of the fact that they do fit in quite nicely, but they do seem a little bit bulbous, even though they look super flush to ear. So they do have a little bit of sway to them. Like they're definitely present in the ear, They look like they fit in like really, really snugly, but they feel wider out than they actually are. So like profile, those don't look that bad, right? Yeah, like these don't stick out tremendously bad, and they kind of fit in the ear nicely. It gives me a little bit of like old school Jabra vibes in terms of like the headset because of that stem. And that might just be my ears. Like some people might have it more down. But because it's so large and in terms of like the actual touchpad and then the stem is there, it just looks like one of those old school Bluetooth headsets, more so than like an Apple AirPod Pro would, because of the like, you know, round, nice lines that kind of curvature into your ear a little bit better. So because it has that flat, let's see if I can get this to focus. Yep. Because it has that flat nature, obviously the actual earbud itself has its own ergonomics. Pull it back a little bit. Yep. So it does have a little bit of a silicone ring to help with the grip. And you can see that they're removable. If you look at Drop has a different version of this. So Drop has done a collaboration with Grell to make their own version, which these little like silicone pad is included, but it also has wings to make it a little bit more sporty. I don't know if the tuning is any different. I'm going to have to do that research for the review, but generally with Drop, they do sort of tune things slightly different from the standard tuning to see how, or to make it personalized to them. But yeah, there are two models out there. They are no different price. They're both $200. So there's not really, it's kind of just like whatever preference you want. Again, tuning might be different, but in terms of form factor and function, all the same. Let's see. So you had the MDW Sports, which, oh, sound better. Okay, so before we get back to the Grells, we'll talk about these guys. So these two, I use them for different functions. I use these for working out. I end up using these for working out a little bit more, and if I need to be on a phone call, because the microphones are better. Sound-wise, these are a little bit warmer, but they do have a lot more detail. They boom a little bit louder as well. And the ANC, hard to compare just because of the fact that these are using foam. I'm using the foam tips, and those foam tips end up, you know, helping with the seal, while these ones just had silicone. This might be a little bit more balanced. However, I enjoy listening to music with these ones a little bit more. These are just a little bit more convenient due to the fit, as well as just, yeah, it's mostly because of fit in microphones. So like if I'm conferencing all day, I'm using these, or if I'm doing a workout, it's these. If I'm doing these ones, I can use these for a workout, but these are generally for my longer listening sessions. So if I'm commuting, or if I am, I actually want to like listen to special tracks of music, I will use these ones as my enjoyment listening guys. So they're different. Sennheiser 3s, I know. Oh, you've got them. Cool. I was gonna pre-order them through Sennheiser because I saw that pop up. The problem is last time I did that, they were dicks about return policies. So like I had all these issues with them, and I promised myself I would never pre-order through them again. So I'm getting them. I'm just waiting for them to be on Amazon. And are they on Amazon? They might be. Should I buy them right now? I probably will. Let's see. True Wireless, is this Momentum 3s? Yeah, Momentum, True Wireless 3s. They are on. Dope. Guess what's happening? We're buying them. And by we, I mean me. Here's the question. Let me share my screen. Browser. This guy. What color should I get? Because these will technically be a review. And you guys, since you joined the live stream, will get to choose which one. Graphite, white. I could get black. Graphite just seems a little bit more fancy. Temporarily out of stock, so we definitely aren't getting graphite. Black or white. I have thoughts, but I feel like you guys should chime in. I would get graphite just because it's like in between. And it's just like a little bit more blingy black, but, you know, MKBHD or, you know, linen-y white bedroom sheets. Ryan gets the graphite because he's a fancy man, and he probably just found it sooner. This item will be released on May 10th. So 5 days. See, oh, they're all out of stock. Should I just get the black ones? Or should I just wait till they come out on the 10th? Yeah. The Sennheiser pre-order is just like, I don't know if I want to go down that route. I mean, technically, guys, I can hold off. Because if this is releasing on the 10th, I don't need to get it first day because I still have the Gravstar Sirius Pros to get through. Musin is sending a cyber speaker to me. And I have one more thing. What's the other thing? Something else. There's one more thing. But there's basically 3 more reviews before I get here. So I'm going to hold off. Hopefully the other 2 colorways come through. Otherwise, I'll just get the black. It's like whatever. But yeah. But they will be on there at some point. Don't get the white. What's your concern about the white? Getting dirty? I will admit that I did a review on the True Wireless 2s in the white, and that linen got dirty. But it didn't get Sennheiser. It didn't get dirty in my testing. It got dirty after you rejected the return, and then I just kept it. So yeah, can you tell that I'm a little bit salty? It's okay. They look too much like Frankenstein, darker colors, less obvious to people. Fair. So I'll either get the black or the gray, the graphite. That will be coming. I'm okay with that. It's actually funny because if you go back to my reviews of what is it? Why is everything 2 names? It's not Master and Dynamic. It's Bowers and Wilkins. The Bowers and Wilkins PI5 or PI5s and PI7s. Those are their earbuds for them. When I was testing that, people were like, dude, you look like Frankenstein. And I was just like, now I can't unsee it, guys. Thank you for that observation. That totally helped. Like that. I mean, there are other reasons why I didn't pick up those headphones or I didn't keep them, but that just kind of like nail in coffin. Like that was it. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So, yeah. So I don't want to look like Frankenstein. So I will pick black or graphite, likely graphite if I can get a hand of them. Okay. So that's taken care of, or not taken care of, but it's squared away. We will pick one of those colors at some point. Okay, back to the girls. 1 colorway. Very easy. Basically graphite, black. We were talking about the fact that they're a little bit bulbous. They kind of fit the same design language as the Master Dynamics. And I'm doing a terrible job by showing you guys. So like if you look at this F2. Okay, if you look at them, they kind of follow the same shape and curvature in terms of how they're situated. So very similar language in terms of styles. And it's because they have these flatness. That flatness basically prevents it from having a natural curvature that will fit your ear. So they have to do that. So even with the Master and Dynamics, even though they don't feel as bulbous as the Grells, they kind of still do. They're flat on ear. Like they look real nice and elegant, but they still kind of, they don't feel quite integrated to your ear like the Fits Pro or even like something like the Neurotrus. So like these ones, man, dropping everything these days. These have a flat guy on them, but because of how they've shaped the actual, in-ear piece with that wing and everything, it just fits a lot nicer. I think. Like, it's definitely bigger, but this feels more like in my ear and like sucked in, while like, even though these are the sport version of the MW08s, they're secure. They stay in, doesn't matter how hard I work out, but they don't feel as like sucked in as like the Neurotrus. So there's a lot to consider in terms of the sizing, but like their design kind of looks ripped from the Master and Dynamics in terms of like how they made that inner bulb to fit inside of your ear. The benefit is they do add that sort of silicone ring there, which does help with the grip, I will admit. But if you're really into the active lifestyle and you want that to feel more integrated, the Grell X drops might be a little bit better for you just because they have that wing, which is reminiscent of the old MW07 Sports, which had that wing. I was actually kind of sad that the MW08s didn't have that wing, just because those felt nice. While the MW07s were not as nicely tuned as the MW08s, they did have the benefit of having that wing, which just felt nice. So Grell has an option there for you. It's just not within their standard one. You have to go through that drop collaboration. And the drop collaboration, if you're interested, is available on Amazon. It's just $20 more. Or you can go directly through drop, but drop takes a little bit of time for delivery. So especially with the state of the world today and all that sort of stuff, you know, it might take you a little bit longer through the drop process, but you save a few dollars. Let's see. Let me check comments real quick. They have some new B&O stem style buds in the Flossy card just reviewed. Oh, the Bang & Olufsen. Yeah, I do need to revisit those. Do I have that on my list? I think I do. I don't think they have A and C. That was the one reason why I was like a little bit staved off. But let me see. Put it. Oh, they're the Beoplay EX. Yeah, I have that on my list. So these are the ones I kind of have on my list right now. Zoom or focus. There you go. So the Beoplay EX is kind of on the top of the list. The Sennheiser's Momentum TW3s are there. Sennheiser also came with a sport version of their headphone, I believe. So that's something I also want to test out on the field, especially because it's getting sunny here in Boston. And then Astil and Kern also came out with a headphone. I needed to research a little bit more research more about that company before I commit to that, but it was just interesting enough where I thought I could throw that on the list. The Sennheiser 3s do have a little bit more fit considerations, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really, really interested in trying them. Hopefully they have done better on the battery front. Hopefully they've done better on the latency front. But if you guys haven't checked that out, definitely check out my review on that. I think that happened like a year and a half ago. When I tested that, we were definitely like, you know, stuck inside at that point in our lives. But I did have a review on the 2 version, and there were just some very blatant issues with them. Sounded perfectly nice, especially if you want a neutral sound, but technically, from a technical perspective, there was a lot of downfalls to that. From the Grells, I will say that they feel comfortable, and that stem does help. It does make it seem kind of like less. It does make it feel a little bit more secure than, you know, a traditional bud that doesn't have that, or just a stemless bud. So it's kind of nice having that security in there. Obviously, the microphones obviously are also impacted by that. So I don't want to say it, but stem might be the way to go for microphones. However, there are some other headphones that do well, like the Beats Pro do a very nice job about that without a stem. It's just that, you know, for a new company that was able to implement microphones pretty well, like, I think that's just a kind of a testament to that design. As we look at this a little bit more, I just can't stop seeing that old Jabra Bluetooth headset look. But in terms of the controls, they do a little bit of weird thing. So putting them in your ears, you kind of have a goofy dude that tells you, it's like, power on, you are connected. It's like a little bit cheeseball. I don't think I'm going to be able to recreate it. I do want to give you guys sound samples at some point, so I have this connected. Hopefully this will render on stream if I'm using OBS correctly, but we'll get there. I do want to talk about some other things about the controls, though, before we get there. So the controls are tap and swipe, as I've mentioned before, but they do some weird stuff in terms of the configuration. So if I tap on this side, it's ANC and transparency mode. Totally fine. And this side, it's play pause. But the swipes for all your playback, for volume and everything are on this side. So all your playback functions are here except for play pause, which is over here. Like, I kind of wish they'd just throw it all on one side so I can be like, playback stuff is here. Transparency and assistant is here. But they kind of mismatched it. So then it's like a little bit confusing. It's not as intuitive as some of the other headphones that we have on our plate here. The other thing is that they kind of like got this backwards. I don't know if this is just my unit. Wait, can you focus, please? Wow, there you go. But the left side has the right earbud and the right side has the left earbud. So like when I'm putting this in, I'm always messing up because this doesn't fit this way. I have to go over. Again, it's a small gripe, but it's just small details where it's just like, you just threw this in there, but you didn't think about how people use it. So like, I get it. It's a new company. They might probably going through some growing pains, but it was noticeable enough where I'm just like, I kept missing because like I'd get done with the workout. I'm like, oh, nope. Oh, okay. So that was a little bit strange to me. But overall, like the build is pretty good. It's been relatively reliable on the controls. Connectivity is like a weird mismatch of like awesome and terrible. It's weird because from a distance perspective, I could get like 50, 60 yards away from my phone and it will still be playing music. However, if I'm close by my phone and I'm like running around or just like, just like walking around my apartment to get some water, it will like fade in between the two and it'll just like kind of cut back and forth. So I'm not sure if it's just my unit, but there are some Bluetooth connectivity issues. Like obviously if I put them back into the case, they fix themselves, but then like, you randomly get like that inconsistency that you have to like constantly keep putting them into the case to get the beamforming to work. I think that's the right term for it, but it's for them to communicate together. But otherwise, you're just gonna like my last workout here. I just didn't want to keep bringing that. I just was like, I'm just gonna live with it. And running, I was just having it fade in out and out of each headphone. So I was like, turn my head and then this one would go out, but then it's still playing here. And then I turn my head the other way. It's so bizarre because then when I started running away from my phone, this just got more consistent. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening with the communication between the earbuds, but I can't really pin down how I feel about it. The inconsistency is a little bit of annoying. I was looking for an app. I was looking for a firmware update, but there's like really nothing. They don't have an app. I believe these headphones would benefit tremendously from their own app that's not Sound ID. Just for like the functionality perspective of like gesture control and firmware updates. In terms of the Sound ID app, again, you can change how this sounds using that, and we'll get into that in a little bit later in this review or in this live stream. But the consistency definitely was known. It's just, especially when walking. Like if I'm just sitting here, it's consistent enough. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it's consistent enough. But when walking around, even just inside your house, it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let me see what we got. Is this connected? Nope. I was opening and closing too many earbuds, so it was getting confused. Let's put these guys away so it knows which one to connect to. Pair with Grell. This dude sounds so corny. He's like, ugh. He sounds like an announcer, like a bad one, like one from like a cartoon. Okay, so we got that. Let me just see. Yeah, sitting down, it sounds fine. Yeah, there's no issue. Yeah, there's no issue at all. Like if I'm sitting down, there's no like beamform issue. There's no issue with it fading. There's no issue with it cutting. It's all consistent. So something around you moving your head around, maybe it's the in-ear detection. Maybe it's the in-ear detection because it does have in-ear detection, but maybe you moving around starts making it feel like it's not in your ear, so it cuts the signal. That would make it extremely sensitive. That could be a culprit. I could test that a little bit more. And then if I put it into this, this microphone, maybe you guys can tell me if you guys hear that cutting. As we talk about sensitivity, these ear pads, I told them they were reliable, but they're a little bit sensitive. So like if you are adjusting them, they do kind of get messed up. Like they will engage controls. They will do sort of things like that. And that's something I want to get a little bit more testing on before I confirm that. It was just mostly noticeable in the field because I was adjusting these a little bit more especially when I was initially trying these. They do come with both silicone and foam tips, which is nice. For these ones, I particularly needed the foam tips to get a good seal as well as a good fit for active use. Normally it's fine. Like again, sitting down, walking around the house, silicone was fine for me. So I thought they would work in the field, but on the field I would immediately start seeing them pop out. But then switching to the foam tips, not only did I get better sound and seal for ANC, but I also got better performance in terms of in-ear fit. So for me, foam is needed there. It was also the same for the Master and Dynamic. Lol, shocker, same size, same fit, same kind of shape. So it's kind of understandable. If you guys rocked with the Master and Dynamic MW08s with just silicone tips, or silicone tips normally work for you, likely you won't have to have that issue, but that's just something that my weird ears have to deal with. But yeah, the sensitivity is a little bit weird because I thought that they had like proximity triggers almost, because I was like, I was barely touching it, and it would engage a function of changing track or stopping my music, or activating ANC. So that was a little bit annoying. And I was thinking, like, is it like the Sonys where they have a proximity configuration? Was it the Sonys? It was not the Sonys. Which one was this? Something had like something where I could tap my cheek instead of my actual headphone. Which one was that? I'm losing track of my earbuds, guys. Oh, it was the Sonys, but it was the Link Buds. The Link Buds were crazy. In terms of the mic, Mark, this is this mic. It's not these guys' mic. I will give you guys a sample of that at some point, but that's probably gonna have to be in the review. But yeah, I did kind of like reconfigure everything because I did do a live stream a couple times, and I was getting echoes. I was getting a bunch of different issues. So I wanted to improve it. So I bought a bunch of stuff. It's kind of ridiculous because it looks like I am a DJ now. But yeah, all this stuff is just here to sort of give you guys a better product, whether that be on a review or a live stream. I do want to do more live streams. It's just like timing wise and, making sure that I have the right content and time slot that gets you guys engaged is kind of hard sometimes. But I'm glad that I got a couple of people on here that we can kind of chit chat back and forth. And I can also get feedback. So thank you guys for letting me know that my mic was low, but I'm appreciating that you guys are liking what you're hearing. Okay. So that kind of goes over like the basic stuff. Like I said, the sensitivity of the controls could be an issue for you if you constantly adjust. Again, I thought they had the proximity triggers like the Sony Link Buds, but they don't. It's just, really small touches affect the swipes and taps a little bit. So something to keep in track of, but I am going to test that a little bit more in depth and more critically to see if it's like consistent or if it's just, some one-off scenarios that I felt today. Okay. So for listening, I got to find music, which is always a struggle because I need to make sure that I have stuff to talk about. Also like a breadth of instruments or a breadth of different views. So let's bring up this. I used a track today, so I added this to my story. If you haven't, check out my Instagram. I made one for this channel so I don't bother my friends. I was just gonna make my normal, Instagram my channel one, but I didn't want to like pound them with, I don't want to pound my friends with just like tech review. I did want to make sure that like I had a separate one. So I just spun that up probably a month or two ago. So check that out if you want to see like more like real-time review stuff, as well as just like posts related to what's coming up. Cause I usually try to put a heads up there, as well as just like, as I'm going through my day, I want to post more stories about like stuff that I am testing out. So I went to the field today and you guys can see that, but, there was some song that I used. Let me look at my story. Fall by David. Okay. Let's do this one. Fall Davido. So I'm going to listen to it for like 30 seconds and like tell you guys along the way. I'm going to try to let you guys listen as well, but I'm only going to do it for like 10 seconds because every time I try to do more than 10 to 15 seconds, YouTube decides to pull down my video completely. It's like not even like demonetized. It's like, oh, your video is seen by no one, which I hate that. I do not know how some of these music, like these album reviewers, get to put in such these long tracks, because I get pulled every single time. Maybe it's just because they have more subscribers and view time, so like YouTube's a little bit more lenient. But for me, they just like come down with Thor's hammer, and I'm getting freaking knocked over the head with like just like restriction claims. It doesn't affect my channel. It just like says like, you know, good job spending like 5 hours on a video. You can't show it to anybody. Hate it. Freaking hate it. So yeah, let me listen to the song. So it's like kind of Afro vibes, but it's was it synthesizer, some Caribbean drums and percussives. Sounds all right. Oh, I need to do stock tuning versus, oh, lame. I gotta do everything double. So let's see, stock tuning. And then sound ID. So I do need to make sure of this. All right. So then I think I can make you guys listen to this. I'm gonna try. No guarantees it's gonna work, but we will try. Well, it knows that it's in the ear, so in-ear detection should not be an issue. Okay. Activate here's mic. Can you guys hear that? I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's coming through.
Money fall on you, banana fall on you, Prada fall on you, 'cause I'm in love with.
I totally forgot that I need to make sure that I keep track of things. So, could you guys hear that? I am not sure. Let me know if you did hear that in terms of like the headphone performance. I'm going to type out my thoughts a little bit, but let me know. So person overflow the voice, relatively balanced. Otherwise, but yeah, I hope I literally let that run for 27 seconds. So hopefully YouTube doesn't hate on me for that I don't get pulled midstream, but not been very successful in the future or in the past. Let's see what other songs we can do. I want to turn down the volume just in case. You're probably hearing both. Okay. I wonder if I could, I'm gonna check this on YouTube. I'm gonna check this on YouTube. Does it actually play? Oh, and I lost the earbud. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Come here. Okay. So, as a thought here, I'm gonna have some struggles with this one. I may have to bring out the silicone ear tips because these guys like to stick inside the here's mic. I'm about to track back and see if that is actually playing. but I do need to change these to the silicone. So where did the box go? Okay, cool. Packaging wise, sustainable and cardboard. Wait, focus, guy. There you go. They actually have pretty decent packaging. Charging cables and ear tips kind of come in cool little pouches. But let's go find some silicone tips that will be easier to remove and hopefully stay, so I don't have to go tweeze out these headphones every time, or these earbuds. Oh no. No. Come on. Come on, guy. Come on. There you go. Not as hard as some other ones, but still annoying. So that one's there. Do I have the other earbud? Foam. It's these ones. So I'll keep track of those foams for later. Now let's figure out which. I'll do medium ear tips maybe. This is me. Large. Small. Medium is this one. What is happening? Okay. Silicone zips look like this versus the foam ones. This way. If you focus. Come on. There you go. Good, Sigma. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to rock with these ones just because if I'm switching between the Here's mic and my headphones, it'll probably, or actually my ears, it'll be easier. Again, I rock with the foam ones just because they give me a little bit sound performance from what I've seen, as well as they fit better. However, silicone is, preferred by many people just because they are a little bit more resilient, as well as they just fit your ears. These guys, I just need the foams to fit in for active stuff. But yeah, we'll do the silicone. I just need to find a song. I also need to see if you guys can actually hear the Here's mic, because I'm not certain. Look, I'm watching myself. Okay. 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 Put it into the microphone, Volt. There we go. Oh, it does come through. Dope. So this configuration actually works. So I know I'm not going to get all of y'all on this, and people are flowing in and out of this chat, but I'm still going to do the sound samples. So let's go find another song now that I know this whole setup works. In the future, this is going to be great because I'm going to, be able to get you guys' sound stuff, and you're going to be able to listen along with me in very small segments. Obviously, I'm going to get a little bit more song than you, but, we'll ride. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. This is why I like trying to find times that work for you. Obviously, Mark, I know that you and Ali usually come to these things, and it's great because I can kind of get feedback and hear how things go. But sometimes I'm here solo. People watch it afterwards, but then I won't until I see the re-render, I won't know if my image is stretched or my mics are too low. So it's good to know when you guys are around. Let's find some more music. What is Google recommending me? I really don't want to do a TikTok song right now. They're like, what, you want to listen to Light Switch? I was like, kind of like everywhere in the world. Let's do something Joji. I haven't heard Joji in a while. Let's do Slow Dancing in the Dark. I'll probably have to find the good time for you guys to listen to, because the intro is quite long on this one, in respect. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be on like the chorus, because when it hits, you'll probably get the most impact. Right now, it's very mild, but it sounds alright. It's really warm. No. Can you? It's really warm. It's like overpowering on the bass. Yeah. I mean, it sounds nice when he's isolated. Okay. Bass drop. It's a little bit uncontrolled. All right. I'm going to let you guys listen to this. Let me find the right part for y'all. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's try this. Hopefully this actually doesn't suck in the freaking ear tips. And I won't have to like redo this. All right. I'm going to mute my mic so you guys can listen to this without hearing my dumbass voice. Let's see. Here's on. That's all you get. All right, that's all you get because I'm worried about the copyright, guys. Let me see. Oh, they still come off, but they're a little bit easier to pull out of the Here's mic with the silicons. Maybe if I pull back on the earlobe. Yes. Win. Win. And again, you guys, ooh. You guys can tell me how these sound as you listen to these samples, or if you as you hear them through. Ooh. No. See, they're already like trying to do it. Like I literally just twisted them, and they're activating the assistant. So not my favorite thing, but still all right. So I think the mic's good. Yeah, as you guys finally get to the sound samples or backtrack, let me know how they sound to you guys. I can add that to my review in terms of what's going on. But again, we're trying to do stock tuning first. We'll do a few songs and then we'll do the sound ID. We have gotten through like the first hour of the stream just talking about sort of the build, some quirks that I've seen through active testing and sitting at home. And now we're sort of getting to the sound samples. So we've just been doing stock tuning. No bells, no whistles added from the Sound ID app, but I do want to like get through like 3 to 6 songs, get some understanding of how this bass line sounds, and then from there go do the Sound ID magic, and hopefully it sounds better. I will say like so far what I've seen is that like it's gonna depend on the mix, but so far it's warm, and there are some overpowering pieces in how it's tuned where certain voices get overwhelmed. Now, let's try to do something. I'm trying to think something that would be just like not so vocally. Trying to find some like EDM maybe, just to like balance it out. This might work. Let's do Paradise by Medusa. There's no bass yet, so I can't tell if the it's getting overpowered yet. But it sounds pretty even. Gotta wait for the drop. There we go. It's a little bit more controlled. It works well, actually. It's pretty balanced. It's smooth. I'm trying to see if there's a negative part of this, but I think EDM works really well for this. No, even like transitions are nice. It doesn't get blown out. Let me find a good time, huh? I think we do this. So what it's gonna do is essentially go through the oh, shut up, boy. It's gonna go through the normal chorus, and then it should be a little bit devoid of bass, and then it'll go right into the drop, and then you can hear it totally. Yeah, like I swear, this sensitivity is a little bit rough. Try not to touch anything with it. Don't do anything, guys. So we are inside, and we're gonna switch mics. So I'm gonna go. I'll just keep my mic on. I try to be quiet, but if I need to be transformative, you know, I'll be transformative for this microphone stuff. So yeah, so should be on. I'm gonna play this, and again, oops. We're gonna start with like the sort of like calm version of the chorus, then go into like the actual drop. Should tell you a little bit more about how this balances out when the full bass comes through. We'll play it for like 15 seconds and see how it goes. All right. And as you guys hear these samples, feel free to chime in on what you feel. If you hear them, if everything comes through, because it helps me with my reviews as well as it helps me. Why are you so sensitive? Oh my lord. But yeah, it helps me with my reviews, and it also helps me get feedback on what's working. Because technical issues are like half the struggle with these live streams, but you know, hopefully I'll knock them down when we do these more often. So let's see, what have we went through? We've kind of went through Afro vibes. We've done like a slow R&B song. We've done a EDM-ish song. What is this, R&B? I mean, let's try this. You know, some UK vibes. Ooh, come back to me. There you go. West 10. Okay. So let's try this. I'm worried about adjusting these. I'm like, are they gonna? I'm waiting for like the rap to come through. Sounds pretty balanced. Oh, it's a little bit wobbly. But it doesn't overpower. Why do I feel like this is a little bit more musical in her voice on like a normal headphone? No. Mm. All right. Before I hand this back to you guys, I do want to test this out with another headphone. Just because I don't want to discount it, because it might be fine. It might just be how this version of the track is. But for some reason, I feel like her voice is a little bit meh on this song. When it has, oh, can you fit in? Oh, nope, got it wrong again. Fit in, you fool. Yeah, the fitting of these headphones are not so fun. They don't feel like they're completely in either. Whatever. Are you in? Yeah, you're in. Okay, let's try the Master Dynamics. Since they're like the most like similarly fit. Wow, didn't ask that. All right. Decibel wise, definitely the Grells are not as loud. Oh, these sound way better. I mean, I would hope so. Like, these are $200. These are like $350. But like, yeah, these bump like a lot better. Her voice has a little bit more hauntiness on it with the Master and Dynamics. So I wasn't tripping on that one. I didn't want to be like randomly overly critical, but it's noticeable. Absolutely. I'm gonna let you guys listen to this. Let me just figure out the right part. So probably with her and chorus going into the rap. So 38, maybe 38 to. So I'm gonna try to push it, but 38, I think. Okay, so we'll start here. We'll go for a little bit. Hopefully, no one gets mad at me. Of course, you want to play and you want to skip around. Okay, 37. Perfect. All right, switching mics on so you guys can hear this.
riding those Civics and you were trying to keep me from winning, but I did it. Ask about me, I did it.
And that's all I can give you because I'm trying not to get taken out. Man, these guys want to play so bad, even when they're not in ear. They're just like, let's go. So yeah, it's at least from the stock tuning, there's definitely something missing. It's clean. Dude, there's some technical issues. You just hear this? These are fully in there. And they're playing. Why? Okay, at least when I close the lid, it's fine. But that's not an ear, Grell. That's not an ear. But again, maybe I don't know. Maybe just some growing pains with some of their stuff. But yeah, there's just something missing without the tuning, I guess. Stock tuning just seems to be a little bit bass heavy, very warm, and then when it comes to vocals, there's just something missing in the vocals that usually is there in terms of staying power, some hauntingness to them, and the vibe. As warm as they are, there's a vibe that's missing, and it might just be because they're a little bit out of control. They just don't have that sort of punch that helps you move them along. You're kind of focused on the fact that the bass tones are sticking around longer than they should. I guess that's how I feel about them. But let's try to do a couple more tracks. Try to keep this pretty diverse. Anderson .Paak. We do Panic at the Disco. You know, some emo stuff. At least like old emo stuff. Lying is the worst. Or is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off. This is such a long title. Ren and Yuri, what were you doing when you're making this song? Panic at the Disco. Copy. Okay. So yeah, by the time we get to the next two songs, we should be able to do the Soundcore app, or the Soundcore app, Sound ID app. From there, we can just recycle through these songs. So my goal is to get the next couple songs done by, I don't know, like 11:20 EST, and then we'll go to the Sound ID app. Take these out. Ooh, come on. Growing pains with these guys, with the fit and everything. Left, right. Thoughts are in, better kiss. Thought her touch, better fuck. I don't know what to think about this one. It's hard. It's almost like there's a strange pitch change. Let you kill this chorus. Sorry, it's taking a little bit longer to transfer this to you guys. I'm trying to get an understanding of what's going on. It's weird. It like pops when he switches between high power, higher pitch to low, not low power, but like lower pitches with less effort. It's like there's a weird pop or like noticeable change between them. They sound both good individually, but it's just that there's a little bit of weird jarringness to that. What is that? It's strange. At least I know a part to show you guys. But weird fall off on high power parts. Seeming or jarring pop. So like, yeah, let me see if I find the right part, but yeah, it's weird. Is it just the, yeah? Let me just, I have to confirm because it's just so weird. I just never noticed that. Is that how this is freaking tuned? Let me just do it. Shut up. Okay, get to the chorus. No, no, it's way smoother on that. Damn. Okay, let's figure this out. And if you guys are thinking that this is because there's no power, like I've been charging this whole thing since I got home, and I had a bunch of time to shovel tacos into my face, so it's definitely charged. It's definitely not running out of power or anything like that. Okay, left side. So what I want you guys to listen for is when he says faster, faster. Basically right before the chorus. He does it a few times during the song where he goes from like his low, like sort of just low, solid voice. And he just switches to falsetto really quickly to emphasize parts. So let me find the right part. Kill this guy. Okay. So this is the part. You know that, you know it will always just be me. Can you fit? You can fit. All right, ready? I'm going to stop talking, but let you guys listen for a bit. All right. Please stay in. Up. Actually, did you guys hear that at all? I'm not even sure. Was that on mute the entire time? I'm going to just play it again. Whatever. Let's go back a little bit. Because I just noticed I never unclicked the microphone. There we go. We'll try it again. So it's we. Oops. No, you're not. You're muted anyway. All right. Let's do this segment again. Again, he's going to go faster, faster, and testosterone. Yeah, whatever. You know, the whole part I was talking about. Look for the falsetto switches, as well as when he gets control on the lower end, as well as when he starts drawing power for the falsetto and higher pitches. That's where I feel that pop. Jesus. It's just so much rendering in terms of like I'm adjusting it. It's starting to turn on. In terms of this, it just has this weird pop. So listen to this part. I'm gonna switch mics again. Just listen for it. That falsetto switch just is more jarring than it was on the Master and Dynamic.
No, 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 you know it will always just be me.
Let's get these T-hearts beating faster and faster. So testosterone boys and hard ugly girls, will you dance to this beat and hold a lover close? So testosterone boys and hard ugly girls, will you dance to this beat and hold a lover close?
All right, so that was it. Hopefully, you guys heard what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna bring in the Master and Diamonds because it's too much to test all in one show. But it's just some weird like control aspects to the stock sound. It's like bass can overpower certain scenarios, but then it'll be like really clear voice and enunciation for like raps or like isolated voices. So like on that first song that we had, super isolated, very nice. Same thing with Joji, very nice. But then when you start bringing in more layers to it, it gets overpowered. When someone is not consistent with their pitch, it starts peaking or something. It just basically, it like skips, it hops around and you feel that and it's jarring. So that's my thought on the stock at least. I want to do one more song that's kind of different than what we've gone through. Especially because we have a little bit of time. I know I said we'd start at 11:20, but you know, I'm planning on going till midnight, so I figure we can take the last half hour, configure the app, listen to some of these songs that we went through, and then like call it a day for Cinco de Mayo. And then I can continue my testing on my own and then get the full review out by next week. But I did want, again, one of the reasons why I want to get this live stream going is because I know for a fact this weekend I'm not going to have time to get all the shots and review it in time for Sunday, which is usually when I release these things. So I'm going to delay it a week, but at least give you guys this video here to chew on for a week while I go through that. Again, if you want more frequent updates of what I'm doing, how I'm reviewing these things, definitely check out the stories on my Instagram because I go over this more in my daily life. I'm trying to log it as I test it a little bit more so you guys can be part of that journey. And you guys can ask questions in there so that, you know, I get what you're asking, or like if you're what you're wondering about these different products. One song that we need. So we went over, we've gone to Afro vibes, we've done slow R&B, we've done EDM, we've done UK vibes, we've done 2000s emo. What can we do else? What else can we do? What's different from all that? I mean, we could do something more mainstream. No, we already did off Afro vibes. No, not doing that. A Latch maybe? Yeah, let's do Latch. It's like a R&B EDM mix. Well, let's just do the Disclosure version. So let one last song on the stock tuning, then we'll configure the sound up. Nice. Nice synth. I wanna lock in your love. I don't even percussive. like mid bass. All right. So this part I think is pretty easy. This song sounded really good on it actually. And maybe because it's more EDM-y, and less like spring. So good. Oh my god. Number 3. Okay. But yeah, maybe it's because it's more EDM-y. There's less bass in this song, so it's not too heavy. Like the synth and sub bass is nice and punchy. So maybe just because it doesn't go as low and there's not as long droning bass to there, that it does not wreck it. Oh my god, I wonder if Luis Del Mar will sound terrible. We'll do one song from now. I'm sorry I'm delaying this, but this, like, the more I listen to this is what kind of gets me into a hole when I listen to this stuff. Is I'll be like, I'll notice something. It's like, oh, this doesn't really punch at the bass. But I'm like, what about a song that has too much bass? Luis Del Mar. It's probably gonna sound like crap, to be honest. But I'm gonna let you guys listen to Disclosure. God, watch this video get completely claimed. Oh. All there. All right, let's try. I don't know. Let me, before I activate the mic. Oh. Oh, I need to listen. I can't do this. What part do I think? Okay. All right. I think this part's good. It's like interlude to the actual go. Okay. So, gonna play it. Here's mic on. Sounds good, full intro, Michelle. That's all you get, because I'm gonna get copyright. Okay. Last song. I'm sorry. I just want to try something with a bunch of like crazy bass on it. This sounds terrible on a lot of headphones, to be honest. Tap water drinking? No. It's such small scenes. See, the sounds voice isolation is great. Yo, percussive elements are fucking dope though. Oh, the bass though. Oh, the bass though. Ah. So please don't fight me. So who are you to say I'm wrong? Oh, that's weird. It's weird because it's a rattle. I promise I'm fine. I'll pour you and not Kevin. All right. So this is hard because I feel like I need to show you guys way more on this song than I can. Maybe I split this up into pieces. Okay, I'm just show you the first 15 seconds. It's just like all droning rap bass, and it sounds bad in a lot of headphones. So what we're gonna do is show you guys real quick, and you guys probably hearing a bunch of stuff because I forgot to mute this headphone, but whatever. You guys will hear the first 15 seconds, and then yeah, tell me what you think. Okay. So that was the first part. Mute that. And then I'm gonna find a spot that they start layering in percussives. It's gonna sound a little bit better, at least in my perspective. Yeah. So this part, they start doing like rim shots, rattles, just a bunch of different percussion without the bass, and just listen for how tight that sounds, because it sounds very, very nice. So the mid-range is super dope. That's all I gotta say about that.
Man, in my new life downtown, now I realize never felt at home in my hometown, and it's no surprise, 'cause
All right. So that sounds super clean to me. I was very pleased with that. That was surprisingly clean, especially how this started. Trying to find a good bass spot where it sounds like it's getting overpowered again. Okay, so this one's gonna play the bass. It's like a very long and droning bass. To me, it sounds a little bit gross and a little bit uncontrolled, but tell me what you think. It will probably switch to a little more upbeat tempo, and you can see the balance, but that's what's missing to me, at least.
none other than you. So please don't fight me. See who are you to say I'm wrong?
So yeah, that was that, guys. So overall, mids are good, highs lose some power, and bass can be a little bit uncontrolled depending on how it's tuned. Vocals are nice in isolation, but again, they can get overpowered depending on how the rest of the track is mixed. So there's some finicky nature to the sound signature, but it does have some redeeming qualities in the mid area. Percussive elements that are not long and droning do sound nice and punchy. However, if your bass is like more sustaining, it does seem to lose control and overpower other parts in the song. There's also that weird like jarring switch between falsetto and more lower tones, even sopranos, and then so definitely more to listen to from the stock tuning. But let's get into the Sound ID app, because I've only done this with the Drop Pandas in preparation for a future review on them, and just because I like the Drop Pandas. But let's get into. Let us get into. What am I doing? Oh, the Sound ID app. I haven't used this guy in a while. Allow while using the app. Do not connect to the Drop Pandas. You're not even on, so you can't. Devices. Oh, come on. Please. Disconnecting pairing. Select other headphones. Change headphones or add new ones. Add new headphone. Search your headphone. Grell TWS ones. Save your contact profile. I'm gonna set this up with you guys. You can be along the ride. Firmware update. That might help. Oh no, is this gonna take forever? We might have to stop this stream if this is going to take forever. Please keep your headphones on and connected to this device while it is updating. Updating to 2.7. Hopefully this fixes a little bit of things. I can definitely check. We do have like an understanding of how this sounds with this stream. However, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's progressing relatively quickly. It's not too bad. We can wait some time. I got time. You got time? Let's see what my chat is doing. Okay. Should probably not switch apps. Okay, 64%. We're almost there. But that was relatively quickly. I did read some articles saying that the update process was freaky and painful. But this one's not too bad. Maybe I should have done the Sound ID earlier. The reason why I didn't do the Sound ID earlier is because I did not want it to get... I wanted to get a good perspective of how this sounds out of the box. I think I have that now. I am upgrading it. Obviously, that might change how this tuning is. So in the future review, it will be based off of this 2.7 firmware from a stock tuning perspective and a non-stock tuning perspective. Once I modify this, I'll just shut off the Sound ID changes. But let's see. Hopefully it doesn't take 2 hours. Some people said it was ridiculous, but that kind of went through relatively quickly. It is validated now. I don't know what goes into that process, but this is where we stand. Maybe this is the part that people said thought were sucky. Hopefully not. Maybe though. Please say no. It's repowering. It's rebooting. It's rebooting. We're almost there. Finalizing. That's encouraging. Nice. Nice. Let's upload into my headphones. Okay. Update complete. We are in there like swimwear. So let's configure this. I'm going to turn this guy on. Actually, so firmware update's good. Headphone controls, button guide. Oh, so all this stuff is... Oh, it's just the actual menu. I can't actually configure this. So, volume up, volume down on the right side. Playback functions. Play pause on the right side, but next track on the left side. Stupid. Modes. Transparency mode. Toggle left side 1. ANC reduction mode. Hold for 3 seconds. NAR noise reduction mode. Hold for 5 seconds. Again, you could have just literally swapped that to the other side and made it more cohesive. Calls, I don't care. So I can't configure anything through this app, but I can at least get a rundown of what those are. But I kind of figured it out through playing, which is generally what I do anyway with these things. I like to learn through playing. So that's the thing. Headphones, I don't really need to name them. If I turn on the sound ID, do I have to reconfigure these? Oh, it's just applying the one. That's so weird. I thought I would be able to readjust it for the headphone, but it's just applying the drop X pandas. I feel like I got to do this again. Studio flat or voltage sound ID. Let's create a custom preset. Let's not. Can I create a new one? Create a custom preset, EQ player. One, I need to plug you in. 2, what happened to like the switch to advanced EQ? Oh, I don't care about that stuff. Where's the survey? Hearing test. Yeah, it's probably that one. Preference test. We can try this again. Retake preference test. Wow. Hello. There we go. So I'm going to do this again because there's no way that the drop X pandas and these have the same tuning. So it's weird that they just assume that it'll work and just applies it everywhere. Let's do noise canceling on. Which sound do you prefer? I don't hear crap. So basically what the Sound ID app does is it has 4 different tuning modules for a song that they have. And based on that, you choose which one sounds the best. This might take me a little bit, but you guys will be here. So, you know what? Before I do this, I don't want to have you guys stick around for this because it's going to take a bit. I remember this taking forever. I'm just going to use the sound profile from the Drop Pandas, and hopefully that works. It's probably not going to be an accurate representation. For the full review, I will say that I will, configure this, and you'll have comparisons of both the stock tuning with the 2.7 update, as well as the sound ID that has been tuned for these specifically. For now, I am just going to test this out with the songs that we have with the sound ID present. So let me throw all these songs that I did into a playlist, so then I can just do this. Library. Explore. Hello. Hello. Songs. Home. Okay. So the first song we did is Fall Davido. All right. The nice thing is I can play this with a stack tuning and then switch to the pandas. But again, keep in mind that these were tuned for these guys and not these. So I don't know if that matters. I feel like it does. You're still missing something. So even with the tuning, it sounds like the for that first song, I'm not gonna write down my thoughts on it just because of the fact that this is for the pandas. But based off of that panda tuning, all it really did was really bring forward the mids. So yeah, some of the percussive elements sounded a little bit better. It was still a little bit missing a vibe. It's something missing from his voice in them that I didn't like. So I don't think tuning necessarily helped with that one. But again, once I tune these specifically for the Grells, hopefully that will bring out some color. Well, let's go to the next song. Slow Dancing with Joji. Slow Fancying. Oh, dope. I need to drive. Let's go. All right. I think I can share this one a little bit more noticeable. The sound ID definitely helps. You can notice a big difference, especially with that song. I use this a lot, but there's a lot more haunting in his voice. It sounds like he's singing in an echoey room a little bit more, so there's a little bit more presence. The bass does seem a little bit more controlled with the sound ID, so it sounds like the equalizer is helping, and that these needed some extra tuning. But again, that's just my ears, and again, this is not for specifically these headphones. So future review will have that. Wow, I keep forgetting to mute this here's mic. Jeez. Okay, anyway, yes, we'll hear this. In 3, 2, 1, and let me scroll back like 10 seconds. All right, so that part was the non-Hear ID version, or sorry, Sound ID. Now I'm going to put in the Sound ID enabled, and tell me what you think. So yeah, and then I can swing back for the hit. This is without the Sound ID enabled. And then if I go back, let's enable it again for the last part of the chorus. Enabled. I think this application is a little bit laggy. Hello? Whatever. It says it's enabled. So let me know what you guys thought about that. Instead of switching back and forth, what I'll do is I'll go to the next song. Let's disable Sound ID. and also just like kill the app because it's freezing. Sound ID. Let's turn you back on. It's connecting to the Grell. You do that thing. You do your thing, girl. Okay, connected. Devices. Let's turn on the sound ID and turn it off. Okay, perfect. So from that perspective, it is off right now. Our next song is Paradise by Medusa. Or Paradise, my bad. Okay, so this is with it off. Get ready. Let's do something in the middle. Okay, and I'm gonna turn it on. I wish there was an easier way to do this from the dock, but I can't. So we will enable it and then play it. Oh, jeez, Voltaire, you're done. Okay, sorry. Here's mic on. Let's do this. Okay, so this is sound ID off with Paradise. Let's do like 40.
There's 1,000 miles between you and I. Oh, my. Just 1,000.
Okay. So let's turn that on. So sound ID is on.
Between me and paradise. Oh, my. There's 1,000 miles between you and I. Oh, my.
And then we'll turn it off again because I know that it hit the beat because I heard it.
Just 1,000 miles between me and paradise.
Okay. So then we'll turn it back on. Try it one more time. This is with sound ID on. All right. You guys got to first listen on that guy. I'm going to take my listen and tell you what I think. I know we're wrapping up on the hour here. We may go a little bit longer just to listen to something different, but I did want to get a sense of this for myself. So it's hard for me because it's obvious that in all these songs, it's bringing out the mids a little bit more. And that might just be because with the pandas, I like having a little bit more detail to hit those mid percussives, those sub bass, things like that, where like I want some detail and I want the separation. So bringing out the mids a little bit more assists with that. So I can hear that detail. However, for these headphones, it's just very obvious that it's not as balanced. Like I'm almost bringing that in so that the sound is like a little bit more level on the pandas. For these ones, I feel like it's just so obvious that the mids are boosted. But But it does help with this song because it does bring out the vibe. Because I can hear from the original tuning that it's very neutral, but it doesn't bring any sort of punch that I would want out of an EDM song, so it doesn't make it as dancey. The tuning on this helped it tremendously, and I have both microphones on again, so sorry for any echo on that last piece. Let's see, Mark. So they don't have Hear ID. It's more like 4 different sound modes. So they do have technically Hear ID. It's just not the same as how you would perceive it. Let's say if you were to do the sound course or the, what other one had it? It's not like the sound course. It's not like the Sennheisers, I believe, had something similar. Where, you know, you hear tones and you tell them if you can hear it. That one's basically checking your frequency response. So like it'll tell you like a very loud sound, very high sound, very low sound, very quiet sound. So it'll go through a gamut of things, sort of hitting different drivers, especially if it's a multi-driver headphone, to see what your ear is responsive to. Based on that sort of configuration and your selections, it will tune it to optimize your frequency range that you're responsive to. This one, I think, does it similarly, but what it does is actually uses tactical music for you to go through. So there's strums, there's distorted sounds, there's, you know, vocals, there's a bunch of different tracks they basically run you through. I think there's like, but you go through like 30 tracks. There's like a lot where they go through different variations of it and you pick your best of the 4. Once you finish that profile, then it compiles all that together and makes a profile for you. It is more manual. It's not as nuanced and sophisticated as, say, like the Neurophones or the Neuraloops, where it does more tonal, like it doesn't like zap sounds into your ear and wait for a response to see how things reflect. It's more of you giving your individual input on what sounds better. Based on that, it hopefully will put together a sound signature that will be most pleasant to your ears. Hopefully that makes sense. It may make no sense. But from my understanding of all these different technologies of what Neurophone does, what Sennheiser does, I think Jobber does it too, as well as what they're trying to do with this sound profile, there just seems to be a little bit more active need for you to chime in with your inputs with these ones, as well as like Sennheisers. This one uses music, the other one uses tones to figure it out. Neuraloops literally just say, put it on your head, we'll figure it out for you. I kind of like that. However, you are stuck with whatever they give you, but generally it's pretty palatable. What I have noticed is that like sometimes I like my friends' configurations a little bit better. So like we did that with the Neurophones. So if you guys want to check that review, I kind of went through my roommate Carter's configuration with those, my friend Yewan's, and I ended up liking Yewan's more for a lot of music. But you know, if I took that out, the tuning that Neura did still sounded really good on mine. It's just certain genres sounded better for Carter, sounded better for Yewan. So it was nice to have that flexibility, but you do have to like put it on a bunch of people's heads. This one, you can kind of just like play around with it. So they also have the option for you to actually tune it manually if you have a little bit more sophistication in your EQing. But these guys, they'll give you just a bunch of tracks and you just figure out which one you like best. I think it's a little bit more intuitive for people because if you're hard of hearing, the Sennheisers may not give you what you want. However, with this one, you'll always be able to hear the track. You'll just have to pick which one you like best, and then they'll do its magic. So different little technologies, different approaches, but all of them have valid like logic to them. It's just they may give you a different result. So we did Paradise, we did OG. I know we're running close on time, so let me see which one would be best. I mean, Louis Del Mar. Pairing failed. How would you fail? You were just connected, sir. Grell. There we go. Get on there. Headphones not connected. To enable sound switch and connect your phone. Dude, bro, you are connected, literally. Or maybe I'm not. What? How am I connected but not connected? Are one of these headphones on? No. Hello, Grell. Can I get some love here? Ooh, it lost the device? Interesting. My Bluetooth woes continue with these headphones. Wow. Tell me more that it's failed. Let's put these back. Let's put these back in. Make sure they're all the way in. Okay, we're probably have time for one more song, so I'll try to figure out. Sam Smith was just too easy. I know how that's gonna sound. Let's do the Panic at the Disco one, just because that had the most jarring item on it. Like Lose Del Mar actually sounded relatively well, and all I can think of is that the percussive elements are gonna sound even better. But the bass, I don't know. It might not be as harsh with the tuning. But for that Panic at the Disco song, I want to see if it renders that skip between falsetto and non-falsetto a little bit better. So hopefully this pairs this time. Otherwise, I'm going to be super annoyed. Are you on? Are you connected, sir? Bro, come on, dude. Bro, dude. Oh, I tapped a pair. All right. Connect. Unable to what? Try again. Oh my god. Okay. Let me kill all these apps. Man, Bluetooth woes. Can we not, please? Grell. No. Okay, we're gonna kill that app. We're gonna put these back in the set. I mean, there's definitely some things that shine and are good about this. I'm not gonna knock it completely, but it does seem, it very much seems like a Gen 1 thing. Like this is their first attempt. They got some things to iron out. Okay. Nope. See, look, I'm not even doing it. It's like a pain sometimes. What is happening? It can't find it anymore? Are these dead? There's no way. There's no way. These cannot be dead. That'd be wild. That was only like 2 hours. What are you saying? Tell me things. Are you dead? Oh, they might be dead. Jeez. No. I mean, they're on. Dude, can you not? Did they die? For real? What happened if I do this? No, you're still talking to me. Yep, you're telling me about transparency mode. I can see that. But bro, I'm literally not seeing this guy. No Grell? Sir? I'm gonna try to pair something new. There we go. It got unpaired completely. Interesting. Why would it do that? It forgot. Not only did it disconnect, it forgot the device. Jeez. My phone's not old. It's a Google Pixel Pro, so don't blame it on the phone. There's something goofy going with this Bluetooth connectivity. Okay. So let's try that Panic at the Disco song while I'm here. And turn on the sound app again, because I thought that was the issue, but it wasn't. Sound ID. So last song, guys. We'll wrap up Cinco de Mayo, which is now to basically Sixto de Mayo. Cool, we're connected. Devices. Now you see the guy. Let's put the song on. Updates. Nope. Nope. Search. Lying is the most fun. Yep. Okay. Not bad. Oh, this is off. Okay. I know which part too. Okay. Okay. So this is obvious. Okay, so I'm gonna take the same part. Y'all guys. But this is basically obvious. Like the tuning helps a lot with that gapping. I don't know what that is, but that stock tuning sucks for that. So what I'm gonna do is do the same part. At least I think. Let me just blast this so I know which part we're at. All right. So we're going to start with the, or like close off with the tuning on. So this is going to be how it sounds with the sound ID. All right. So then let's backtrack a little bit. So I'm going to basically take it off, and then you guys can see if you can hear that gapping. But sound ID is now off. Let me just make sure I get the right part. Okay. So then last part, we will activate the microphone and then listen for the falsetto switch. All right. So basically, the sound ID definitely helps smooth things over some of the different elements that I've seen, even if it's not a optimized tuning for these Grells. It does bring in a little bit more power, a little bit more detail, and a little bit more smoothness to the sound signature. So definitely use that and use the power of that to, you know, bring out the most out of these headphones. We will be doing a little bit more testing for the full review in terms of getting samples and things like that. But the stock one just has some quirks about it, and it's really strange that they decided to tune that way, especially with Axel Grell at the helm. I'd expect a little bit more balance and a lot more neutrality. It doesn't have to be perfect, obviously, but it should be more like reference material, where it's like you have a very good blank canvas to start with, and then you can embellish it with the Sound ID app. For this, it sounds like, for me at least, the Sound ID app is absolutely necessary to listen to a wide plethora of genres, or you're just going to be very displeased as you go throughout your day. Obviously, the Sound ID doesn't solve everything. There is some weird quirks from what I just heard, but again, that just could be because this tuning is based off of the drop pandas. But yeah, overall, I'm still undecided how I feel about these. There are some quirks with the technology, which I can tell is like a first generation issue, like Bluetooth quirkiness, power quirkiness, sensitivity quirkiness, that kind of make me struggle to see how this would be an easy purchase for anyone, just because it takes some patience and it takes some finicking around. But once you figure it all out and get some items and get some listening to it, it seems to smooth over a little bit, and you know how to work around the quirks. So I'm going to test this for another week, especially, like I said, I don't have time to get out the full review by Sunday and get all the shots I need. So I'll continue shooting things, I'll continue doing recordings, and have that for next Sunday so that you guys can get the full review with the firmware and all the other sort of stuff for your needs. As always, guys, appreciate you guys sticking around for this entire thing, especially Mark, Ryan. Appreciate all of the inputs and the chat back and forth. It does help with these live streams, just to make sure that, you know, everything's working, but also that I have some people to chat with. So yeah, there'll be ones in the future. I'll try to announce them further in advance, or as advanced in the future as I can. But I do want to make this kind of like a regular cadence, whether it be like every week, every other week, every 3 weeks, every month, whatever it might be. I'll do some polls to figure out what works the best for people. But I do want to do these more often, just because it allows me to be a little bit more candid with you guys, a little bit more interactive, and less formal. I mean, I know my reviews aren't the most formal things either, but I do like having sort of like be myself and, you know, get through all these struggles together. So if you did like with this video or this live stream, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all the things you normally do on a video that you like and love. And look out for that review coming next Sunday, not this Sunday. Appreciate you guys, as always. Peace.